you told me to do. Today's video is also in partnership with Sephora, which is so fun. I love working with Sephora, and all the products that I'll be using today obviously can be found at Sephora, and I'll have links to everything down below in the description box, obviously depending on what I'm gonna be using, because at this point I actually don't even know. And if you haven't yet joined the Sephora Beauty Insider program, I will also put a link to join in the description box as well. You can get really awesome perks throughout the year, so I definitely recommend checking it out, and I hope you guys are gonna enjoy. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments, and if you wanna join in on the next Subscribers Choose My Makeup video, definitely follow me over on Instagram. I would love to do these more often. They're just so fun. It's a really great way to get you guys directly involved in the videos, and let's get right into it. So before I even go to the poll and see what you guys have in store for me, I'm just gonna quickly moisturize my lips. I also wanted to quickly talk about this because I just recently got it. This is from Fenty Skin, and it is called the Plush Put-In Intensive Recovery Lip Mask. I'm obsessed with this packaging. So basically you take the cap off, and to dispense the lip balm, you just twist the bottom and it comes up through this little spout at the top. And then you just swipe the lip balm off and apply it to your lips. And I think that's genius. I've only ever seen this type of packaging with moisturizers, never with lip balms. And I think it's a great alternative to those lip balms where you dip your finger in. Obviously, no matter what, you want your fingers to be clean if you're going to be touching this and then putting it on your mouth. I just think it's so much more hygienic, and I wish all potted lip balms came like this. All right, let's go onto the poll and see what you guys told me to do. Okay, so for the primer or base, I asked you guys if you wanted to see me use a blurring primer or just a moisturizer, and it was between the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream for the moisturizer, and then for the primer, it was the Glowish Blur Gem Silicone-Free Smoothing Primer. And I'm surprised because the Just Moisturizer won, not by much, but it still did win. I'm actually not mad at it though. You guys know I'm not the biggest primer person. I don't ever really feel like I need like a smoothing primer before applying my makeup, and I always find that just moisturizers are typically more than enough to prime the skin and prep it. So I'm glad we're on the same page. And this one is really nice because it's pretty lightweight, but it still gets the job done, and it makes my skin feel really nice and cushiony. And I really have been liking it for underneath my makeup. For the foundation, it was between the Dior Forever Skin Glow and the Haus Labs, what are you called? Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. And the Haus Labs foundation won this round. I'm not super surprised with that because I feel like this is a trending foundation right now, and a lot of people have been really into it, including myself. I've been loving this foundation. It's become one of my favorite full coverage foundations, and you really do not need a lot of this stuff to get a nice full coverage look. So I'm gonna just take one pump and see what that gives me. Whenever I apply this, I like to kind of dot it all over my face just so it's evenly distributed, and then I go in and blend it out. The shade that I'm using today is 160 Light Neutral. Like, look at how that immediately spreads out on the face. Like, that's barely any product too. That's what I love so much about this. And it just allows you to get that full coverage look without a lot of product, which takes away that heavy look that I just don't like with full coverage foundations. Oh, it's such a good one. Zoomed you guys in a little bit more so you can get a nice juicy look at the details. And this foundation really doesn't even need a smoothing primer. I find it is quite smoothing on its own, and combined with that moisturizer, it gave me a really nice glow. For concealer, I forgot to put it in the poll, so I'm just going to choose one myself, and I chose the Milk Makeup Future Fluid. This has been one of my go-tos recently. I also really love the combination of the Future Fluid with the Haus Labs foundation. This is also full coverage, so it just meshes really nicely with the texture of the foundation. To blend that out, I'm gonna take my Sephora Collection 57 brush. And I really do want a pretty bright under eye. So I'm gonna bring the concealer kind of down the sides of my nose to brighten up that entire area. And the shade that I'm using is 9N, which is honestly my perfect shade, and matches the foundation really nicely too. Tell me there's nothing more satisfying than finding that perfect concealer and foundation combo that just match you perfectly. All right, concealer has been applied. I'm now going to use this to highlight a little bit. When I highlight with concealer and I'm not necessarily using it for coverage, I like to use a very, very small amount. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna pick it up with the brush just so I don't over apply it, because it's just not necessary. I'm only using it for the brightness of the concealer and not for the coverage. So I just don't need a lot of product. And this is just gonna give me also kind of like a softer effect. So I'm putting some on the center of my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. Also a bit on my chin and on the sides of my mouth. Don't really need concealer for coverage really anywhere else because the foundation did the trick and covered up literally everything. I feel like my face is completely blanked out, so it's not necessary to put any more concealer on my face than I already need to. But we're actually not done yet. We do need to put a little bit of powder, and I want to see what you guys chose for me. I asked if you wanted me to use pressed powder or loose powder, and it was between the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder, ultra blur and transparent, or the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder, which is the pressed powder in this little pole. And the pressed powder did win by far. I did really want to go for a really bright and light powder because I do want to use it to further brighten up my under eye area and a couple other areas of my face. Like, I'm really feeling a very highlighted look today. So I'm taking a little bit of the powder, I'm just pressing it underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, basically everywhere that I put that concealer. It doesn't have a lot of pigment to it, this powder, but it does brighten up just a little bit. Okay, so for the bronzer, I asked if you wanted me to do softly bronzed or chiseled and contoured, and softly bronzed won. I'm slightly disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I was really wanting to do like a super chiseled look, but it's fine, it's okay. I'll do it for you, I have no problem with it. And who doesn't love a softly bronzed look, honestly? With chiseled and contoured, I feel like you can more obviously see the lines of the bronzer, not in a bad way, just in a more defined way. And it just kind of makes the features pop a little bit more, where softly bronzed more so just adds color and less shape to the face. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to layer a cream and a powder. I just really wanna play with my Fenty matchsticks in Mocha today, so that's what I'm gonna do. And to keep things looking really soft, I'm going to use a fluffy brush to apply this, and I'm not going to draw it directly onto my face. I'm gonna pick up the product from the stick and apply it that way, and that's gonna give me a much, much softer look. So after putting it on the brush, I'm just kind of like feathering it onto my face. And I'm gonna do one side at a time so you guys can really see the difference, because it's gonna be applied pretty subtly. So even though this is softly bronzed, I do still wanna shape my face slightly. So I am doing this purposefully. I'm not just slapping this on. I'm putting it on my cheekbone, on my temples. I'm also gonna put some on my jawline, and I'm gonna put a little bit on the sides of my nose too. But we're not gonna chisel it out, but I am gonna put a little bit of color just to kind of bring it all together. So this is the side with the mocha, and this is with nothing. So it's still very, very soft, but it adds just a nice amount of color. I've realized that the matchstick from Fenty is a really, really nice cream if you do want a softer, almost powder-like look to your bronzer, but you don't wanna use a powder and you wanna use a cream. This will give it to you applied in this way. And that's because it is a drier formula. So now I am going to put a little bit of powder bronzer on top. So I'm gonna take a really, really fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take my Kosas medium golden bronze bronzer. And I wanna use this because I do want a little bit of a glow. And this is one of my favorite glowy bronzers. So I'm just going to layer it on top of where I put that bronzer already. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows and then we'll move on to the eyes. And for the brows, I asked if you wanted me to do just brow gel / the naked brow look, or if you wanted me to fill in my brows. And it seems like a lot of you guys wanna see me fill in my brows. That's what won. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm going to use my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil to fill in my brows. Honestly, even when I do fill in my brows, I don't really do them that intensely. I typically just like to lightly fill in the sparser area in the front and then on my arch. I'm not gonna make my brows look like insanely intense, but more bold than if I were to just put gel through them. Always, always, always brush through your brows after you're done applying the product. It's gonna just soften it and make it look more natural. I am actually still gonna use the Anastasia brow gel because I still do wanna set my brows even though I filled them in. I'm gonna take a spoolie, put it in the brow gel. I just take a little bit, and then I'm just gonna brush all my hairs up. The best of both worlds here, because I'm still getting that like fluffy, natural brow look, but just slightly more defined. Let's do the eyes now. So I did decide on the eyeshadow palette that I wanted to use today. I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty Empowered. I've been dying to try this out. I actually have not even dipped into it yet, but it's a really beautiful kind of like dark neutral palette. There's a lot of just beautiful, deep, rich shades in here. And I asked you guys if you wanted to see me do a smoky cat eye or a bold metallic look. And the bold metallic look won. There's a couple fun metallics in this palette. There's like this really, really bright gold over here. There's a beautiful copper. This shade looks so stunning. Oh, I think this is what I want to do. But because this is supposed to be a bold look, I do need to have some boldness to it. So I am going to make this a little bit like smokier than I probably would normally go. I may regret this. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Tuxedo, and it's just a matte black cream shadow. And should I put this all over my lid and make this like a smoky metallic moment? It's not a terrible idea. Wait, actually, let me just see something. Oh, there are actually cream bases in the palette already. There's a black and a dark brown. So you know what? I think I'm actually just gonna try the one in the palette and see what that's like. I have never used it, so I don't know how it's gonna react. This actually is probably better to use than the Caviar Stick because, oh, it's actually pretty opaque. It's a little bit less intense than the Caviar Stick. The Caviar Stick is like black, you know? And this is also pretty black, but I feel like this is slightly more easy to work with. I think it's the better way to go. But I'm literally just slapping this on my entire eye. Oh boy. I have not done any type of black smoky eye in a very long time, my friends. So I may be a little bit rusty. It's not looking so cute right now, but I promise you with smoky eyes especially, you kind of just need to trust the process. Okay, I'm gonna go into a fluffy brush. And without putting any extra shadow or anything on it, I'm just gonna diffuse the edge of the black cream just so it's not so harsh. Okay, I'm gonna go into this grayish color right over here. It's called Big Dreams. And I'm just gonna work it into the crease. The goal is just to make sure that things are blended and that I don't look crazy. That's all I want. Okay, I need to put a little bit of warmth in the upper crease, so I'm gonna take this shade, which is called Power. Just like a peachy color. And I'm just going to pop that in the crease. Yes, that is giving me exactly what I want. Sometimes when you do a cool tone look, you need a little bit of warmth in the crease to ground it again. And I always find it makes a really big difference, especially if it's just like a transition shade. It just kind of, I don't know, it just helps a lot. Okay, good. So something's working. I'm gonna go back into like a smaller crease brush, and I'm going to go into Confident, which is this color right here. And whoa, a little bit too much, but that's okay. Just put that on the outer corner and the crease. This blends out really easily, so even though I over-applied it for a half second, it's blending nicely, so that's always a good sign. So I'm deepening up the outer crease with this and the outer corner. Oh my goodness, it has been so long since I did such an intense smoky eye, and I'm sweating. It's nerve-wracking with all you guys watching me like that. Now we're gonna go in with the metallic. I'm gonna go into Bold Moves. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. And wow. Okay. Oh my God, this color is unreal. It's honestly a mix between silver, gold, and copper. There's flecks of all three colors in here, which makes it just really beautiful. So it's still neutral, but it is, wow, multi-dimensional as can be. Okay, that just saved the entire look because now we no longer have like a somewhat patchy black cream shadow on the lid, but we have this absolutely insanely gorgeous sparkly shade, and that black color makes it pop even more, which is really what it's there for. It's not really meant to use on its own, you know? Okay, I feel so much better, guys. I could breathe again. Just taking my fluffy brush, my small one, and very gently kind of blending along the edge. This is surprisingly not giving me any fallout. I would have honestly not done my base first if I thought for more than half a second because fallout is inevitable with kind of more metallic and glittery shades, but it seems like nothing's happening, so it's fine. Now, even though we're not doing a smoky cat eye, I'm still gonna do a little cat eye, so I am going to take my Benefit Roller Lash Eyeliner and I'm going to do a wing on my upper lash line. Wish me luck. Sometimes I do my eyeliner, I'm like, oh wow, that was a nice try, but not even close. The angles could not be more different. Okay, I'm just going to try and fix this by cleaning it up with a bit of a makeup wipe. I am indeed stressed again. That stress-free moment was definitely short-lived. The winged eyeliner angle is slightly off, like on both sides. They don't match perfectly, but this is life, you know? Like, this stuff happens and it's okay and we move on. I tried to correct it as best as I possibly could. This is as good as it's gonna get without me having to sabotage the rest of the eye look. So I am happy with the way it looks. We're good, we're gonna move on. Okay, I do wanna put a little bit of shadow on my lower lash line. So I'm gonna go back into that gray shade and I'm going to sweep that on my lower lash line. I don't want the lower lash line to be ultra smoky, but I just want there to be a little bit of balance there. So a little bit of a shadow is perfect. And then I'm going to take the dark brownie purple shade that I put on the outer corner and just put a little bit of that on the outer corner of the lower lash line to kind of connect it. I am gonna put a little bit of a highlighter on my inner corner of my brow bone. I'm actually gonna go in with the Rare Beauty highlighter. It's in the shade Exhilarate. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my brow bone. There wasn't really a proper highlight shade in the palette, so we have to look elsewhere for it. And I'm also gonna put just a bit on the inner corner. Now I'm gonna put on some mascara to just finish off the eyes. I've said this a million times, but the Make Waves mascara pretty much gives you that false lash look without actually having to go in with falsies. So I highly recommend if you want just really like thick, voluminous, intense lashes. And I'm also gonna put some on my lower lashes. I'm not 100% sure if I wanna do eyeliner on my waterline. I'm kind of liking the blank waterline right now, but I may come back to it at the end. Okay, I really like these eyes. This is definitely bold and metallic, wouldn't you say? For the blush, I asked you guys if you wanted to see me use a cream blush or a powder. For the cream, it was the Huda Beauty Rebel Red or the Huda Beauty powder blush in Berry Juice. They both have very similar vibes. They're kind of like berry reddish tones. I thought would be nice for really whatever I would put on my eyes. And the cream blush one, so we're gonna be applying Rebel Red, which I think will be really pretty with these eyes. I really love this formula. It goes on intensely, but it blends out sheerly. So even though that looks crazy, it's gonna look very wearable once I actually buff it into the skin. And this particular color kind of gives a sunburnt look, which I really, really love. And I do like to take my foundation brush and just kind of go over the edges of my blush just to make sure it's looking like it's more so a part of the skin. You know what, don't hate me, but I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of the powder because I just wanna put a little bit of a pop right on the apples of my cheeks, so. There we go. Don't tell anybody. So for the lip, I asked you guys if I should do a bold or a nude, and nude lip won. We do have so much going on in the rest of the face. I mean, the eyes are quite bold, and like even the cheeks have a lot of nice color to them. So I really don't want the lips to be too much at all. I want them to be very soft. So I'm thinking just a lip liner and a very shimmery nudie gloss. I think that'll be perfect. And I think for the lip liner, I'm gonna try out this guy from Rare Beauty. This is the Kind Words Matte Lip Liner in Worthy. I haven't tried the shade yet, actually. So it's like basically the same color as my lip, which is not a bad thing. This is actually a perfect lip liner for what I want. I even don't really want my lips to look too lined, but I still want them to be defined. And this color is giving me definition because it's literally the same color as my lips, but it doesn't look lined, if that makes sense. And now I'm gonna go in with this Dior Lip Maximizer Hyaluronic Lip Plumper Gloss in the shade 016. So for the highlighter, I asked you guys if you wanted to see the Charlotte Tilbury Liquid Glow or the Rare Beauty highlighter, and to no surprise, the Rare Beauty highlighter won by a ton. She's quite intense. I have used her before. With Rare Beauty, I just always feel like things are gonna lean more on the natural side, but ooh, they did not mess around with this guy. Look at how intense it is. It definitely suits a more full glam look like this for sure. Do keep in mind though that this does have a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm also gonna put some on the nose. Okay, I'm gonna just spray my face with a little bit of Caudalie Beauty Elixir. So I went through your finishing touch suggestions and I got a big mix of requests. A lot of people said to put glitter on. I got lots of like faux freckle requests. And a lot of people also said to finish off the look with a fragrance. Didn't think that I would get anything not makeup related, but I think this is genius. And honestly, like I don't see even what else I could put on this look. There's so much glitter already going on my eye. Even if I put more, it really wouldn't do much. I actually have this Malin & Getz fragrance discovery kit. And I thought it would be fun if I chose a fragrance based off of the vibe that this makeup look is giving. In here you have 6 different fragrances. There's bergamot, cannabis, dark rum, leather, stem, and vetiver. This look is giving glam. I honestly feel slightly mysterious too. I feel like bergamot may actually be interesting. Let me give it a little sniff. Oh yeah. That's really, really nice. Now I'm thinking leather. I feel like leather makes sense because I feel like this look calls for like leather boots or something. Oh, that smells really good. Okay, leather it is. This is gonna be, oh, I just sprayed that in my ear. This is gonna be the fragrance of the night. Oh, that's really nice. This is a little sample, but oh my goodness. I may actually have to pick this up. This smells amazing. I feel like a brand new person now. All right, guys, here's the final look. I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. Thank you so much to everybody who participated in this. I feel like we all created this look together. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope that you had fun and that you enjoyed seeing me put this look together. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments and also any of your thoughts on any of the products that I used today, and hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already and want to see more videos like this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.